So traceroute analysis. So attackers can conduct traceroute extract information to extract information about networking topology, trusted routers, and firewall locations. In fact, this is used so much against organizations, some of the firewalls now will not decrement the TTL on a traceroute, just so that you can't tell that it just hopped an appliance, right? That might be your IDS or something like that. So they try to kind of hide a little bit. So not all systems nowadays will decrement, but if you have a firewall, it definitely will. So firewall locations. For example, after running several trace routes, an attacker might obtain the following information. So you have this trace route feedback, and then putting this information together, attackers can draw the network diagram. So you can kind of tell what's what and where. Okay, so this is true. This is how people use it. But it's also, well, if it's such a cool attack tool, then why does it exist? Well, it exists because we use it for troubleshooting and taking a look at which path we're taking out to the internet and things like that to try and discern what's broken. Is it on the internet or is it on my network? And then some traceroute tools, Path Analyzer Pro and Visual Route. Here's a bunch more tools that you need to play around with. Nothing worth noting here. Footprinting through social engineering. So social engineering is an art of exploiting human behavior to extract confidential information. Social engineers depend on the fact that people are unaware of their valuable information and are careless about protecting it, and this is true. Not everyone is careless, they just may catch you sleeping, right? So that's what they count on. Social engineering attempts to gather credit card details and social security numbers. Nobody's really stupid enough to give this out, although there are older people, elderly, that are attacked on the phone. Give me your social or I'm never going to help you. And unfortunately, they surrender to that kind of thing. Tragic, but it happens. User names and passwords, security products in use, operating systems and software versions, network layout information, IP address, names and servers, IP addresses, names and servers, and then social engineering techniques are eavesdropping, shoulder surfing, dumpster diving, and impersonation on social networking sites. So when you're typing your password, just kind of be a little bit paranoid and make sure that no one's watching you when you're doing it. Collecting information using eavesdropping, shoulder surfing, and dumpster diving. So what is this stuff, right? Eavesdropping is unauthorized listening on a conversation or reading of messages. So I just come and sit next to you at Starbucks and listen to what you guys are saying. It is an interception of any form of communication, such as audio, video, or written. But audio, I caution you, do not eavesdrop on phone calls. If you provide proof to someone that you did that, that is a federal offense. That is a big, big deal. You can get in a lot of trouble for that. Only law enforcement can do that. Shoulder surfing. Shoulder surfing is a technique where attackers secretly observe the target to gain critical information. Attackers gather information such as passwords, personal identification numbers, account details, credit card information, etc., etc. So dumpster diving. Dumpster diving is looking for treasure in someone else's trash. So it doesn't mean that you're out in the dumpster in the back, although that's the classic definition. It could also mean that I just picked it up off the floor in your office as I was walking through. Okay, so there's a test question about this. Don't let them trick you with that one. It also involves a collection of phone bills, contact information, financial information, operations-related information, etc., from the target company's trash bins, printer, trash bin, user, desktop, sticky notes, etc. There you go. So it's not just trash. It can be something off of your desk. So I could be dumpster diving if I'm just peeking over while you're typing my computer information in at the doctor's office, and I peek over and grab, my target social security number off of something that he just filled out. So he's going for a doctor's appointment, he has to check in, he has to give a social, I'm standing right behind him, I may hear it, I may see it, I may read it, whatever. That's all dumpster diving. Now, shoulder surfing is if I'm watching you over your shoulder type something. And then eavesdropping is electronic interception. Okay, so those are the test definitions. So now we're going to get into footprinting tools. Maltego. Maltego is a program that can be used to determine the relationship and real-world links between people, groups of people, social networks, companies, organizations, websites, internet infrastructure, phrases, and documents and files. So Maltego has been around a while. It's primarily a law enforcement tool now. There's a paid version that they use. You can't even buy the paid version unless you're some type of law enforcement. It has a lot of information in it. You can use it for free stuff, but it's not very fruitful for the free version. Footprinting tool, ReconNG. ReconNG, one more thing I want to say about this. If you're going to a company and you're just starting there and you say, hey, Timber told me about this cool tool called Maltego, but we have to pay to use it. Make sure you trial it before you use it because it depends on what group you are as to what they'll let you have access to. So make sure you do a trial, like a 2-week trial or something, to make sure that it's going to be fruitful for your organization because it's expensive. ReconNG is a web reconnaissance framework with independent modules, database interaction, built with built-in convenience functions and stuff like that. So ReconNG is pretty cool. You can play around with that. And then FOCA. FOCA is another tool, fingerprint organization with collected archives. So this will you need to run this over and over and over to get good stuff over a period of time, right? FOCA is possible to undertake, using FOCA, it is possible to undertake multiple attacks and analysis techniques such as metadata extraction and network analysis, DNS snooping, proxy search, fingerprinting, open directories search, etc., etc. So it's kind of a cool tool. I don't use it often. And then additional fingerprinting tools. Here's another list for you. Robtex. Robtex is a good one. DNS Digger is a good one. The Autonomous System Scanner. I don't use that one. But Robtex is a great one. You need to learn how to use it. It's kind of tricky. The menus are really small, so just pay attention when you're in there. Additional footprinting tools. NS Lookup is a huge one. Here's another list of tools. Google Hacks is a good one. The Bile Suite, I've heard good things about it, but I've never used it. The Google Hack DB, that's pretty good. You can play around with that. It's fun to play around with anyway.